Since 2022, Ukraine has become the epicenter of modern warfare, a testing ground for drones, precision artillery, and electronic warfare. But behind the front lines, something remarkable is happening. Ukraine's defense industry, once dependent on Soviet-era technology, is undergoing a radical transformation. From drone startups and missile production to joint ventures with NATO countries, Ukraine is building what could become Europe's most battle-hardened defense industrial base. When Russia launched its full-scale invasion in 2022, Ukraine's defense sector faced collapse. Factories were destroyed, supply lines were severed, skilled workers fled to fight or find safety abroad. Yet, necessity became the mother of invention. With Western aid pouring in and an urgent need to innovate, Ukraine began reimagining how wars are fought. In just 2 years, the country has turned itself into a laboratory of real-time innovation, producing drones, armored vehicles, and missiles under constant threat of attack. Thousands of small tech firms, many born in basements and garages, are now working directly with the Ukrainian military. The result? A fast, flexible, and adaptive defense ecosystem unlike anything Europe has seen in decades. At the center of this transformation is Ukroboronprom, Ukraine's state defense conglomerate. Once seen as inefficient and outdated, it's now being restructured into Ukrainian Defense Industry, UDI, a modern, Western-aligned corporation. The partnership with Rheinmetall marks a turning point. German and Ukrainian engineers are now co-producing armored vehicles and ammunition inside Ukraine. This collaboration not only boosts Kyiv's wartime resilience, but also lays the groundwork for long-term European defense autonomy. And it's not just tanks. Ukraine is developing long-range drones, anti-drone systems, and even naval surface drones that have struck Russian assets in the Black Sea. If the 20th century belonged to the tank, the 21st belongs to the drone. And Ukraine is leading the charge. From cheap, disposable FPV drones to long-range kamikaze UAVs, Ukraine has built a multi-layered drone ecosystem. These drones are not only changing the battlefield, they're rewriting the rules of warfare. And Ukrainian engineers are learning faster than anyone else on Earth. Each week brings new iterations, software updates, and countermeasures, a cycle of innovation driven by real combat experience. This synergy between soldiers and startups is something Western defense giants can't easily replicate. It's fast, flexible, and ruthlessly effective. Recognizing this potential, Western defense companies are moving in fast. In 2024, over 400 foreign defense firms expressed interest in joint ventures with Ukraine. Germany, Britain, France, and the U.S. have all signed cooperation agreements to produce ammunition, armored vehicles, and drones locally. The strategy is simple. Help Ukraine sustain its war effort today while building a European defense hub for tomorrow. With NATO preparing for a long-term standoff with Russia, Ukraine's expertise in real combat conditions makes it a valuable asset, not just politically, but industrially. But rebuilding a defense industry under fire is no easy task. Russia continues to target factories, energy grids, and supply chains. Skilled engineers are still serving at the front, and funding, while improving, remains uncertain. Ukraine must also navigate the complex politics of arms exports, NATO integration, and post-war reconstruction. Yet, despite these challenges, Ukraine's defense sector is proving remarkably resilient, a testament to innovation born from survival. So what does this mean for Europe's future? If Ukraine succeeds in becoming a defense manufacturing hub, it could shift the balance of industrial power in Europe. Countries like Poland, the Czech Republic, and the Baltics are already partnering with Ukraine to co-produce ammunition and drones. This could spark a new Eastern European defense corridor, less dependent on Western Europe's slower bureaucracies. In the long run, Ukraine's experience, forged in the hardest war of the 21st century, may shape how NATO and the EU prepare for future conflicts. 2 years ago, Ukraine fought to survive. Today, it's fighting to innovate and rebuild an industry that could secure not just its own future, but Europe's. The question is no longer if Ukraine will rise again, but how far its defense industry can go in reshaping the continent's security. Thanks for watching the Defense Watch. If you want more in-depth analysis on global defense, technology, and security, subscribe to the Defense Watch and stay ahead of the battlefield.